let's go to Tinker here. Tinker, your recruiting may have been a little bit different since your brother Steve Owens was a Heisman Trophy winner, but just like Eddie, you probably needed a little bit of showcasing to catch the football.
I think so. Is it working?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, I tell you what, I almost went to the University of Arkansas, which obviously Coach is very familiar with. And I really wanted to come to Oklahoma. But, when you got a Heisman Trophy winner brother, you're following his footsteps and you weigh 160 pounds, you're not going to win the Heisman Trophy. And so, it was one of those decisions that Steve made for me because he said, if you don't go to OU, I'm going to kick your ass. And he's a hell of a lot bigger than me. So I said, well, I guess I'm going to OU. So he kind of made the decision for me, but I always wanted to be a Sooner. Grew up watching Eddie and Bob Bormack and Zabel and all the great Ron Schatz, all the greats they had on their teams and the joy that I had as a kid. And of course, we didn't have a hell of a lot of TV back then, so mainly listened on the radio so anyway, I was very fortunate to, number one, come to OU, and number two, play on 2 national championship teams, go 43-2-1 in 4 years, and didn't catch many passes because Coach wouldn't throw them. But they didn't need me to catch a lot of passes because we had so many great running backs and such that, the wishbone was not designed, obviously, to throw the football. And people always ask me, well, why did you catch so many touchdown passes? I said, because they didn't think they were going to throw the ball. So they were going after Little Joe and Elvis Peacock and everybody else. And I just run down the field wide open. And I just tell people, hey, the hardest thing about that catch is there's nobody around. If you drop it, then everybody's going to be grown, So it's just funny, Switzer called me yesterday and said, man, I was looking at some video of you in college. He said, I can't believe how many great catches you made and diving for the ball and all this and that. And I said, Coach, kind of like Eddie Hinton. If I dropped it, hell, he wouldn't throw another one. So that was kind of my philosophy. But I was so fortunate to be here and play for OU and play with Bud and Billy and Joe and Jimmy Luttrell, all the great players that we had back in the day. Of course, the Selman brothers. Couldn't been at OU at a better time, I don't think. With the record we had, the players we had. We had Coach. Fairbanks was the coach as a freshman. And I like Chuck. All of us like Chuck, but Chuck wasn't Barry. Barry's personality was so much better than Chuck's. Chuck wasn't a people person. Barry was. And we were all elated when Barry became the head coach at the University of Oklahoma. And it was a blessing, really, to play for OU and play for Coach. Years ago, my wife and I, we were in Europe. And prior to that, I was at Othello's at the Table of Truth. And Switzer says, I got to find something to do. I'm bored. Of course, this is before he got in the wine business and the beer business and powerlift business and building business and all the other businesses that, he's in. And I said, Coach, of course, he was drinking a little wine, so was I. And I said, Coach, get back into coaching. Hell, that's what you love. He said, hell no, I'm not getting back into coaching. I'm done with that shit. I said, Coach, you need to get back into coaching. No, I'm not going to do it. So anyway, we're flying back from Europe. I pick up a USA Today, and the sports page says Barry Switzer is the new head coach at Dallas Cowboys. I said, I'll be damned. He listened to me for once. Probably the only time he listened to me, but at least he listened to me. But, the career at OU, it was great. The people at OU were great, still are today. We're a winner. We're always going to be up there in the top 10 in the country, and that'll continue. I was going to tell a story about my 30th birthday, but my wife's here, and I don't think she wanted to hear it. But thanks to Coach, I was late for my surprise birthday party. Back in the 2-for-1 days, and you get one, that means you get two. You get another one, you get another, and it just keeps going on and on and on. So anyway, it was not a great memory for Terry, but I think she's over by now, but hell, I'm not sure. But anyway, thank you all for coming. Thanks for helping Sooners. It's a great organization. Jerry and Jay do a great job, and really appreciate all of you being here.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.